Alright, so let's talk about the toolbar. I have this graphic up first so I can show you rather a large version of this. But when you get the toolbar, you're going to see, of course, your undo and redo buttons. This is a paint special button. We'll talk about this later. If you've never used paint special, it allows you to use, paste special. Zooming in and out, which will come in handy. Being able to control your objects by clicking on the arrow, or making things such as lines, shapes, text boxes, images, being able to color the images or outline them, being able to select different fonts and sizes, and all your regular tools there, being able to link, comments, alignments, lists, organizing. Then at the bottom, when an object is selected, notice these tools, this will come up and you'll have the image options, which allows you to crop it and mask it. Allows you to reset or do some other image options such as transparency, reflections, and drop shadows. So an object has to be selected in order for those options to come up. So the first thing I would say you need to do is go to page setup. The reason you want to go to page setup is because this is going to help you put in there what size you're considering. So you can do it in inches, you can do it in pixels. It depends on what type of thing you're making. The default is fine, but let's go ahead and show how to do that. So let me escape out of this and go to one of our drawings. So you see at the bottom right, you'll see a little four lines here in the bottom right corner. You can move this up and down, and this will actually reshape your particular drawing canvas. And it's always going to fit to the screen as best you can. So even if I move this way up, it's going to try to fit it so it's best on my screen. And notice we start in our little canvas area in this same background, the transparent background. If I go to File, like you saw in that animated GIF, and go down to page setup, this is where I can customize it. I can also choose from the standards, but I like to customize. And so I can choose inches or pixels. I generally like to use pixels because I use a lot of stuff on webs and they're looking for certain sizes. But if you're thinking, oh, I'm printing this out, or I want to be able to be paper size or something like that, you can sure enough just do 8.5 by 11 and hit apply. And there it is. So that's paper size. And so that's the first part, is being able to make your page set up and look how you want it. All right. So next we will go to just when you bring in objects is using the shift key to resize. And so the reason that's important is because things can get kind of out of whack as far as the symmetry. So even if I insert anything in there, or even, for instance, if I copy this, which I can do directly over to drawings, paste, there it is, right? And so I'm grabbing it, I'm moving it around, but if I grab to the side, this one is grouped nicely, so it's kind of symmetrical in that way. But if I grab and pull it this way, see how it stretches it? So the shift key always just helps depending on whether items are grouped or not, but it just makes it easier for you to control it. All right, besides the shift button, another way, and you saw me do copy and paste, another way of getting objects or things in there is to use any one of your kind of screen capture tools. So on a Mac, it's Command-Shift-4, and that will allow you to capture any part of your screen. On a Chromebook, of course, it's Control-Shift and the extended window button, which is right here. There are also some nice Chrome extensions, Nimbus Screenshot and Awesome Screenshot, that allows you to take screenshots and make things editable. Windows 10 has Snip and Sketch, so you'll look for this little icon right there, and it allows you to sketch what's on your screen. So I could do that now and click on New, and I'm just going to pick this little area right here. So I highlight and let go, and there it is, and I could save it if I want it as a file later, or I could just hit copy, and I'll go to my drawing and right-click paste. There it is. So bringing in objects is pretty easy through that. If you, let me close that down. If you have or want to take screenshots or things like that on your iOS device or your Android, it's simply following these directions, like holding down the left and right buttons on your iPad, or the Android holding the power and the volume buttons together. And directions are all linked in here throughout. So you'll see on most pages there's directions and ways to get there. Now duplicating is kind of nice too. If you're using Chromebook or Chrome, as you see right now, and you just hold Control-D, but if you're using Mac, it's just Command-D, and it duplicates those objects. So I could go to the same one, Control-D, and there it is. It's duplicated. Do it again. As long as I have an object selected, I can duplicate it over and over. It's going to come useful when you do manipulatives and things like that. Next up, inserting images, text, shapes, charts, diagrams, word art, and lines. We'll be back for that one.